Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to grecochess, the YouTube channel of chess. I'm your host. My name is Harry Lasaniziris, and in this video, we are going to show to you the first of the 30 games of the underwater Moonlight Tournament that is now in the final round. 81 players started, 6 players participated in the final round, and they are going to play each other twice for a total of 30 games, and we're going to show these games as they conclude. First of all, thanks to Zanilor, my Italian subscriber that's organizing this tournament. And let's start sharing the screen with you. The first screen we're going to share with you is the announcement of the tournament. This tournament, by the way, is thematic, meaning the starting position is the one that you see here on the top left corner, where I have my arrow. Meaning players don't start from the regular starting position of chess, but from this one here. The starting date of the tournament was November 11, 2025. The director is Anilo from Italy. And among the details, you'll see that 81 players started, and now we are in the final round where 6 are participating. And they play each other in a round robin format. But before we show the tournament, okay, first of all, what we need to do is enlarge this picture here. And then we'll stop sharing and we'll share again, but we are only going to share a part of the screen. And let's go. We are only sharing a part of the screen because if we show the entire screen, you would see the result and you would see how the game would continue. Who are the opponents? With the white pieces is Moebies from Nigeria with a rating of 1789. In fact, it's the highest rating among the 6 finalists. With the black pieces is aimammt from Indonesia with a rating of 1449. Moebies is the clear favorite, has extra 340 points difference. But after the 6 moves, this is the position here. And because it's, as I mentioned before, a thematic tournament, players don't start from the regular starting position, but from the position that the tournament director has decided. Next move for Moebius is fianchetto the bishop to g2, hoping to control the long diagonal that goes from a8 to h1. MT replies by trying to close the diagonal pawn to d5. Moebius will try to reopen it, pawn to d5, and MMT to close it again, pawn to d5. Kingside castling for both sides. We completed 9 moves. All of them are book moves. You see the, in fact, I don't even think you see it, but yes, you see here the book indication. That means that players are following opening theory. And now they'll start thinking of their own because the next move is not a book move. And Moebius will send his knight to e5. It's an excellent, that was the thumbs up mint here. The best would have been to place the other knight to c3 because the knight on b1 has not been developed at all, and not only itself has not moved, it doesn't allow the rook on e1 to move anywhere. Bishop to b7 for aimammt, that is trying to challenge the control of the long diagonal. So in the long diagonal from a8 to h1, both sides have placed their light-colored bishops. The 10 moves, what is the score? 0.3 or 0.33. White Moebius is leading with a very small margin, which basically means nothing. Let's continue. Queen to c2 for Moebius trying to develop the queen, but usually you want to develop your light pieces before the rooks and the queens. And MMT sends his pawn to c5. If Moebius takes it, then bishop takes back, and the knight on e5 is not supported. And also black has better control of the center. That's why instead Moebius is going to send the pawn to e3. Computer would rather have the bishop. I'm not sure why. Bishop is strong. It's supported by a pawn, while here it's supported by a knight and the queen. You want your pieces to be supported by as little value pieces of as possible. And MMT develops a knight, goes to d7. Queen to f5 for Moebius. Not a good idea to send the queen too much ahead unless there's a concrete opportunity which does not exist. Especially you want the queen to be accompanied by other pieces because the queen alone cannot really win the game. Here there's a knight on f5, the best, on e5, the best one can think, but this knight can easily be exchanged. But AMD, instead of exchanging, as the computer would suggest, wants to attack the queen with the pawn on g6. Queen goes to 4, mistakes as a computer. You see the question mark. That's what it means, a mistake. And suddenly you see the advantage of AMT going from 0.1, that's almost nothing, goes now to 1.2, not to 0.2, 1.2. And computer would rather have the queen go to d3, also provides extra protection to the bishop on d2. Because currently, if the bishop's attacked, you need the knight on b1, which means knight and rook cannot move. Knight to h5 for AMT misses the chance. Rook to knight to e4 would be the best, but AMT is, what can I say, wants to attack the queen. Ideally, you don't want attacks unless they lead to something concrete. You don't want one-move attacks that your opponent can easily fend off. And Moebius is trying to save the queen, but also wants to be near the black kings and sends it to h6. You're going to see here that the computer says it's a blunder, 2 question marks, not just 1 question mark like the mistake, to the blunder. And the advantage for black goes from 0.2, that was almost nothing, drops all the way up to 3.4. That is significant and very important. And I'd like to ask you to please pause the video and try to find black's move. How was black able to take advantage of this blunder of white? And I'm going to give the answer now, assuming you pause your video, assuming you took some time to think about it. If one tells you it's a blunder, take advantage, it might be possible to find, but in a real game, when no one tells you your opponent made a blunder, it's not so easy. So MMT plays his bishop to g5. Great moves to the computer. You see the white flag in the red circle. This means that white resigned. Why did Moebius resign? Because where can the queen go to save itself? If it takes a rook, it's lost 3 times, but ideally it should be lost not with a knight, because if knight takes, excuse me, not with a queen, I'm sorry. If queen takes rook, you don't want the queen to take, because then the knight takes the knight, and then white has 2 pieces, excuse me, a rook and a piece compensation for the queen. So the game is going on. You want the queen to be taken either by the knight here or by the king. Where else can the queen go? G6, H7, you just win a pawn for your queen. G7, you win nothing. H5, you win a light piece. And G5, you also lose your queen from the other queen. So maybe you saw that the queen is lost. At most, he can take a rook. And that's why he decided to resign. And the first round is over. No, actually, not the first round. The first game of the final round is over with an upset. AMMT 340 points below Moebius wins the game. And we're going to show to you now, first of all, the one screen that has the the computer evaluation of the game. It believes that Moebius played as if their rating was with 71% accuracy and aimammt with 89.6, and Moebius played as if his rating was 1150, much below his, while aimammt 2100, much above his. In the various categories, how did it do? No brilliances, one great move for aimammt. I believe it's the one where the queen was trapped. Three books, three books, each of them, of course, in addition to the first six at thematic parts of the tournament. One best for black, two versus one excellent for black, two versus one good for white, one inaccuracy for white, one mistake, one miss for black, and a huge blunder for white. So the game is over, and let's see how is the tournament going. We're going to go to the final round pairing, see here what's happening. One game has been completed, 21 remain, and aimammt with the black pieces scored the first victory. What next? Next, we're going to go to the chess.com page. Play bots, which is the next box on the line, not the circus. This is the bots of this month. We're playing now with Olga from the Ukraine, rated 1900. A recap, we've been able to go through all the beginner bots, 15 of them, and this one's very easily. Intermediates, another 15. And advanced, we finished 14 out of 20. What do I mean by finished or gone through them? With each bot, I play until I'm able to defeat them twice. Once when I have the white pieces and once in the black. In the next video, I'm going to have the white pieces against Olga and see what's going to happen. But that's it for now. Thanks to all of you, the viewers, for watching the videos. I hope you learned something. I've learned a lot from them. Subscribers, if you cannot subscribe, please consider doing so. You'll be notified about the various videos that come out. The likes and the comments. This is the grecochess YouTube channel. I'm your host, Karilaos Eniziris. To all of you, goodbye.